Before we begin, take a second to subscribe to the channel, tap the like button, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a story like this one. Your support allows us to share real, emotional stories. Stories that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. Stories that remind us how fragile relationships are, and how a single moment can change everything you thought you knew. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and please stay with me until the end, because tonight's story didn't just unfold, it quietly unraveled a life. It was supposed to be an ordinary Saturday evening. Nothing special, nothing dramatic. The kind of night that exists in the space between responsibility and rest, when the week finally loosens its grip, and tomorrow hasn't yet begun asking for anything. Those evenings often feel forgettable, but sometimes, they're the ones that carry the heaviest consequences. The house was unusually calm. Not the peaceful kind of calm, the kind that settles naturally. This felt different. Almost staged. I had just finished straightening up. The laundry was folded neatly, stacked with care, as if order could somehow protect us from chaos. The dining table was set, untouched, waiting. I poured myself a warm cup of tea, and the soft clink of porcelain echoed a little too loudly through the quiet rooms. I lowered myself into the corner of the sofa. The cushions wrapped around me, familiar and comforting, like a habit I'd grown into over the years. The refrigerator hummed steadily in the background, its low sound filling the silence the way a heartbeat fills a chest. From the kitchen, I could hear my partner humming. Not a tune I recognized. Not one he usually sang. It sounded distant, unfinished, like he was humming out of habit rather than joy. As though his body was present, but his thoughts were somewhere else entirely. The smell of dinner lingered in the air, garlic, herbs, and something faintly sweet. A scent that once meant comfort to me. A scent that used to feel like home. The kids were out with their friends. Their laughter, usually bouncing through the halls, was absent, replaced by an eerie stillness that pressed against my ears. And for a brief moment, just one, I allowed myself to believe everything was fine. Almost perfect. But when life becomes too still, it's often not peace. It's a warning. At first, I couldn't pinpoint what felt wrong. There was no argument. No raised voices. No slammed doors. It wasn't something I could see. It was something I felt. A heaviness in the air. As if the walls themselves were holding their breath. You know that feeling, don't you? When nothing looks different, yet something deep inside whispers that things are no longer the same. That's what it was. A quiet instinct. A nudge from somewhere deep within me saying, pay attention. I took a slow sip of my tea, hoping warmth would chase the feeling away. It didn't. The unease stayed, curling around my thoughts, refusing to be ignored. Because lately, I had noticed changes in him. Small things at first. Easy to dismiss. His laughter didn't come as easily anymore. His smiles faded quicker than they used to. And his phone, once casually forgotten on counters or buried beneath couch cushions, never left his hand now. I'd catch him staring at the screen, his thumb moving fast, his face carefully unreadable. And sometimes there it was, a flicker of a smile. Not meant for me. A private one. Every time I looked up and met his eyes, that smile vanished instantly. Replaced by calm. Too calm. I'm just checking something for work, he'd say. Always the same words. Always delivered the same way. At first, I believed him. Because that's what trust does. It believes even when doubt begins knocking. But over time, small details started stacking up. Messages arriving late at night. Conversations that stopped the moment I entered a room. A restlessness that clung to him like static electricity. And when love begins to feel uncertain, silence becomes terrifying. Every pause feels loaded. Every quiet moment feels like a secret. That night, as I stared toward the kitchen light spilling softly into the hallway, something inside me shifted. I wasn't imagining things anymore. The house felt heavy, like it was carrying truths it hadn't yet revealed to me. Then I heard it. A sound. Faint. Rhythmic. Intentional. It came from upstairs. At first, I told myself it was nothing. The wind, maybe. Old pipes adjusting to the heat. This house had always made noises. It had always settled and creaked. But then it came again. Slower this time. Measured. Each sound echoed like a heartbeat in the silence. My breath caught in my throat. The tea in my hands went cold. Something was wrong. I turned toward the hallway. The dim light stretched long shadows across the floorboards, making them look unfamiliar, almost threatening. And that's when I saw it. Liam's door. Slightly open. That door was never open. Liam valued his privacy fiercely. Every night, without fail, his door was closed. Locked into routine the way some people lock doors for safety. But not tonight. The sight of that half-open door sent a chill through me. My pulse quickened, loud in my ears. It felt like the house was watching me. Waiting. Holding its breath. Don't, I told myself. Respect his space. But another voice, quieter, sharper, answered back. Go look. Each step toward that door felt heavier than the last. The air grew thick, pressing against my chest. My hand trembled as I reached for the knob. Somewhere deep down, I already knew the truth. Whatever waited behind that door would change everything.